We're in 2 Peter chapter 3 today, and we're only going to be looking at verses 10 through 14. In our last time together, we began looking at the idea in chapter 3 where the Apostle Peter warned that in the last days there would be mockers who come, who make the statement that where is the promise of his coming? For everything ever since the fathers fell asleep, all continues just as it was from the beginning of creation. And Peter goes about to refute them and reassure the people who would read his letter. We're going to continue today to talk about what the day of the Lord is going to look like and what is going to occur when the Lord does return. Let's pick up reading in verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come like a thief, in which the heavens will pass away with a roar, and the elements will be destroyed with intense heat, and the earth and its works will be burned up. Since all these things are to be destroyed in this way, what sort of people ought you to be in holy conduct and godliness, looking for and hastening the coming of the day of God, because of which the heavens will be destroyed by burning and the elements will melt with intense heat? But according to his promise, we're looking for new heavens and a new earth in which righteousness dwells. Therefore, beloved, since you look for these things, be diligent to be found by him in peace, spotless, and blameless. Guys, what do y'all see?
I want to focus on verse 10. People for years have been trying to figure out when Christ is coming again. When is God going to allow Christ to come back and reorder everything? So predictions have been made since really when Christ left about when that would happen. And all those predictions have been futile. I mean, a prediction will come out about the world's going to end and the world doesn't end. But that doesn't stop them. They just continue to come. Jesus spoke about the fact that when he comes again, it will be like a thief in the night. The Apostle Paul said the same thing. We got to learn that lesson. A thief doesn't let us know when he's going to break into our house. That's the point Jesus is making. This is not something that we can predict. It's not something we can put on a calendar. And there was a reason for this. If it were, we would live the way we want to live until like a week before that date, and then suddenly we get our life right. The point is not a date. It's a futile exercise to continue to throw oneself into that, trying to figure out some secret code. The point is, you live the way you're supposed to live every day. If he comes next week, you're good. If he comes before you die, you're good. If he comes in 1,000 years, you're still good. You're not waiting for a date. We shouldn't be waiting for a date. We need to live the way we're supposed to live all the time. And when we do, we have the promise of the new heaven and the new earth. And that's another phrase that people have spent so much time debating. The point at the end is what's found in verse 13. Righteousness dwells there. We need to live the way we should live every day of our life. And when we do, we will dwell in righteousness for all eternity.
And what Peter talks about here in verse 14 is while we are waiting for those things, while we're waiting for this new heavens and earth where righteousness dwells, while we wait for the Lord to come back, he gives them a command for what they're to be doing. He says, since you're waiting for these, be diligent to be found by him without spot or blemish and at peace. There is a strong temptation sometimes to just say, well, I've been baptized, I've been saved, I can sit back and just wait. That isn't the picture we see in Scripture. God still wants us to live our lives, and he wants us to live them for him. And so we need to be diligent so that when the day that we're waiting for does get here, we can be found by him without spot or blemish and at peace.
Amen.
Two great applications. Thanks for joining us today. If you have any thoughts on these verses, let us know. It's a great text to consider and also to structure our lives by. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments below if you have questions or thoughts about this. We'd love to interact with you. I hope you have a great day and a great week.